Thunderbolts. Everyone loved that movie. No one saw it, but never mind.
I did.
Yeah, didn't love it though.
But was it called Thunderbolts? I thought the name changed the week after it came out.
Thunderbolts * the New Avengers. There you go.
The name transitioned.
I did like that Scarlett Johansson is so disgusted by it. Like she just decided to get her name removed as an executive producer from it. The interesting explanation that she gives for this is I asked to have my credit removed because I wasn't involved in this movie, more or less suggesting the contractual reasons were why she wasn't credited, or why she was credited, sorry. Some of the films that I did for Marvel engaged my character more than others, like in Captain America, The Winter Soldier with Chris Evans. We had a really great dynamic. In some of the other films, though, the cast was so enormous and there was so much plot to serve that you start to feel like you're just a device to move it along. And if you're committed to 5.5 months of that, it's like, okay, I can't paint my nails, I can't get a haircut. These sound like stupid problems, but your identity is wrapped up in this job for a long time. And if you're not doing engaging work as an actor, you feel a little cagey sometimes. So, long story short, I got really fucking bored of playing this cartoon character, Black Widow, and just wanted to get out of it. And I didn't want to have anything more to do with Marvel now.
Much. And that may wind up being the circumspect position in the long run. Let's be real.
I think it's a good time to get out. Put it that way.
She just described Doomsday, where you get so many actors, you're just a plot thread.
Well, did you see the Variety article that talked about Thunderbolts bombing, where it threw that statistic out where pre-pandemic 19 out of 22 Marvel movies had made over 500 million, but after 2020 only 6 out of 13 had reached $500 million. To me is probably why that is going to wind up being a circumspect decision.
It's like it's a sinking ship, and I guess you want to be escaping it as quickly as possible.
There are actors that would like to consider themselves, some of them artists, right? And you can decide which ones you think are actually that or not. But Benedict Cumberbatch had said about Multiverse of Madness, he had no idea what the story for the character was in the film after he had finished filming it. He's like, I don't know. We did so many different scenes with so many different potential movies. I don't even know what it's going to look like, but I hope it's good.
That's the spirit, oh boy.
Yeah.
It just shows how the mighty have fallen, though, when they used to talk about the target was $1 billion, and now they're doing $500 million with inflation and still can't hit it.
Yeah,
they're really lowering the targets of this one.
I think they would see $500 million as a win at this point. That's honestly the level that they've fallen to, but the budgets haven't fallen accordingly. If your movie has got $100 million budget, then okay, sure, 500 million is a good turnout, but it ain't.
No, and if it was hitting $500 million, they'd be taking the loudest victory lap in human history too.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't really be a victory because their budgets are like 300 to 400 million. You add another 150 to 200 million marketing, and then take into consideration that studios only make 50 to 60% of box office revenue. Yeah. These movies need to hit 800 to 900 to break even. So even if they do make $500 million, it's not the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at Thunderbolts, for example, that made 377 million worldwide, right? It had a budget of at least 190 million that they'll admit to. So you're talking at least another 100 million in marketing. That was going to have to hit probably 600 million worldwide just to break even. That's where they're at.
Is everyone just making more money? Because these budgets are skyrocketing, but nothing looks better. Nothing, things are actually looking worse than they were a decade ago. So where is all this money going?
The CGI in that Superman trailer is awful.
That is bizarre.
Yeah,
is that the one where the teeth get punched against the counter?
Yeah, but it's not even just that moment. All the CGI in that trailer looks awful from start to finish.
Too much of it reminds me of the Flash movie. It's getting super uncomfortable.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
Well, what I mean visually,
James Gunn loved it
because it's the same cinematographer as the Flash.
Right.
James Gunn keeps bringing him back. I'm not sure why. They're probably friends, but you know what I mean. It's just not. But hey, maybe the story is worthwhile. I just a lot
from
of people
James Gunn.
It's funny you say that. I'm like one of the more James Gunn haters these days. So I'm just like, yeah, sure. Like, maybe.
You know, my favorite story, I may have told this before, is that Motorhead, the band, right? Lemmy worked with James Gunn early in his career because he wrote some Troma movies. He did like Tromeo and Juliet and a couple. He might have done a Toxic Avenger. Anyway, so Lemmy had to be the narrator in Tromeo and Juliet, right? Lemmy from Motor. So
That's such an interesting little fact.
Yeah, so James Gunn was writing dialogue for Lemmy, and Lemmy's sitting there chain smoking and slamming Jack Daniels, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to read this. So till the day he died, he hated James Gunn's guts. He'd walk up to him with the rainbow. He was like his most hated person on planet Earth. So there you are. There's your tidbit of the day. Lemmy from Motorhead hated James.
That is nice. Yeah, man. I think we've already obviously had Thunderbolts has flopped. Brave New World has flopped. Seems like Fantastic Four is on the way to flopping as well. And Superman, if I had to pick between those two movies, it seems like Superman is going to be the triumphant one, or at least it's going to come out on top. Yeah, for all the fact that we seem to have had about 100 different trailers for it, and like there's constant this constant stream of just like new releases and new information about it. It's like never ending. I don't know if it's just Warner just going all out to try and pump up this movie because they know what rests on it. I'm not sure, but man, it's getting some coverage.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since the last proper standalone Superman movie. It's been a while. So, and it has that going for it, honestly. So it'll feel like they took a little bit of a rest, especially because virtually no one saw Justice League, and less and less people saw Henry Cavill as he went along.
Yeah.
Well, also, you kind of question how much just your average person in the street that just goes and see the movies even knows which of these universes are connected. They probably all think that Marvel, DC are the same. And it's like, I do think that the Fantastic Four is drastically sort of by comic book readers. They're like, oh, it's a really famous thing. Isn't the average guy in the street, who at this point, Captain America would be more well known than Fantastic Four, and that only did like 415 million. I think they're in for a really rude awakening with that one, especially when compared to Superman.
We are in the decline period, and during the decline period in this sort of phase, movies like Batman, movies like Superman, movies like Spider-Man, maybe X-Men are still going to make some money. But other stuff, like your Iron Heart, I'm sorry, no. Dear sweet summer
I'm looking
child,
forward to that one.
What?
She's going to use demon magic to power Iron Man. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Black Girl magic.
I do think that Superman is going to do better than Fantastic Four because Fantastic Four's coming out after all the goodwill towards Marvel during Phase 4 and 5 is sort of gone. And Superman is also like an issue 1. It's the first movie of this new DCU. People are going to be curious. They're going to want to check it out. At the same time, Superman historically doesn't make very much at the box office. Man of Steel didn't make its budget back. I think the Superman Returns by Bryan Singer also flopped at the box office.
Yeah, it was a flop, yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking good either way.
I think the problem is with a Superman movie, with any Superman movie, it's inevitably going to have to be big budget because you're going to need a lot of special effects. He's there to be like the guy who saves the entire world against some, incredible threat. So it's going to be expensive, but where we're at with superhero movies now, like, damn, you cannot rely on any superhero character to pull in the audiences. I mean, if anyone is going to do it, this is probably the best shot, but it's by no means guaranteed. So, yeah, I wouldn't go expecting this to make anything close to $1 billion. And that's going to be their benchmark. Like, they need to hit $1 billion to be able to declare this a triumphant success and say, yes.
It's kind of a reboot in a way, because it's, and I mean a reboot of this character in general at the cinema, because Superman Returns, they tried to do something really weird with that, where it turned into baby mama drama for half of the movie, and then Man of Steel had the stink of Snyder all over it. You know what I mean? We haven't had a regular Superman movie in forever. So if it's a regular Superman movie, I think good word of mouth will spread and it'll probably make money. But otherwise, I don't know.